When you're pitching, you're basically promoting yourself as a writer, right? And so many people hate the thought of self-promotion, and that's a big reason why they find cold pitching so dreadful and nerve-wracking and something they want to keep putting off. And since self-promotion resistance comes up again and again in your career as a professional writer, I want to reiterate some key points here. You'll need to know a few marketing basics when sending a pitch. Many writers feel like they're asking a prospect to do them a favor by giving them a job. However, your services can dramatically impact their business in a positive way. Any client interested in your services either struggles with, lacks time for, or dislikes writing. So not only are you offering goal-oriented services, but you're also taking away a time-sucking task that they dread. I want to remind you of 6 simple marketing tips that will help you approach pitching with more insight and confidence. Number 1, identify problems or pain points. Many purchase or conversion decisions are driven by emotion. A prospect is struggling with a problem and needs a solution to fix it. So if you know the obstacles that your prospect, your potential clients are facing, that could be lack of time to write their own content. Maybe they're unskilled at writing. Writing takes them way too long to do. Then you can come in and save the day with your writing services. You'll identify a pain point or frustration and state how you will relieve them of that stress. Number 2, state your benefit to consumer. In other words, tell your prospect what awesome things they'll get by working with you. Not only will your writing be top-notch, of course, and more effective, but they'll see real results. That could be better conversions, more traffic, more shares on social, or whatever else you can provide with your writing services. You want to be very clear and quick to state your benefits or your benefit to consumer or benefit to your clients. Use these concepts and sections in your subject lines, especially so that your prospect has a reason to open the email. Number 3, establish yourself as an authority. But don't be cocky. If you're just starting out in your writing career, you're probably not a senior writer. However, you likely still know more about your specialty than your prospect. So establishing authority in your pitch can be a simple line such as, I've been writing for 5 years, or I was the go-to person to write for my company when I worked there for over 10 years. If you have some sort of license or credential that makes you stand out from other writers, you can say that, something like, oh, I'm also a registered nurse. Number 3, establish yourself as an authority. The bottom line, providing tailored, valuable suggestions shows that you know what you're talking about. Plus, it helps to warm up a cold prospect. So you want to give them a few tips that provide a small win. So for example, emphasize that the subject line of an email is the most important part of their marketing campaign. Or tell them how breaking down article topics into FAQs can help them rank better on Google. And if you're worried that a prospect will steal your suggestion without hiring you, you can let that go because frugal DIY clients are someone you wouldn't want to be working for anyway. And you want clients that value your expertise and they know that you can do it better and they are willing to pay you well for it. Number 5, speak one-on-one. So with your cold pitches, they should be one-on-one. You don't want to blast the same pitch to hundreds of emails. No extra copywriter for hire, nothing like that. No like calling all business owners who need better blogs, because not only is blasting not allowed if people never opt in to an email list, but generic blast pitches for writing services simply can't be individually tailored to each and every prospect, and you simply won't get the conversion rates that you want. And in fact, you will probably be very unsuccessful if you're sending generic pitches to any type of company you come across. And individualization is really what puts a cold pitch over the top and something that will make it more effective in what you really want, which is landing writing jobs from these cold pitches. And what I like to think of when I think of writing a cold pitch, I want it to sound like I'm speaking one-on-one with person and that I'm right in front of that one person. So you want to have that very individual connection with them. Number 6, mention your street cred. So even though you may be new to freelance writing, especially if you don't have any clients yet, you might still have noteworthy samples and experience that you can share. And while in your initial pitch, you might not share any relevant samples because that would just kind of make it too long and too complicated, your relevant samples can always be referenced for better street credibility, especially in follow up emails, and especially if they respond back to you asking for them.